Why females, former hotties, pass up so many good guys, high value guys in their youth, and then end up living alone with cats. How on earth does that happen? I'm about to explain in tonight's coaching video. So how do so many of these former hotties who once had the world at their fingertips, that had male attention at the drop of a hat, throughout their entire youth, their entire 20s and late teens, how do they possibly end up alone, living alone with cats, right? Many of them living alone in a small one-bedroom apartment, studio apartment, or small condo alone. How does that happen? The way that happens, you know, and trust me when I say this because I'm somebody who's been out there a long time, right? I've been doing pickup and game my entire adult life, almost 3 decades now, so I've seen this play out with my generation and the generation after, which is the millennial generation, because a lot of these chicks now are in their 30s, and I see this playing out with them too. And you know what? History repeats itself. It's going to play out with Generation Z as well, where these former hotties who were like super hot in their late teens and throughout their 20s are now just single and living alone with cats, when they once had the entire world, all these guys wanting them, wanting to be with them, wanting to marry them off, showering them with gifts, showering them with free trips all over the world, showering them with jewelry, showering them with promises of marriages, free cars, here's a credit card, buy whatever you want, girl. How on earth do these chicks end up single? I'll tell you why. Right? The way these chicks end up single is a little something called shiny object syndrome. Okay? Shiny object syndrome. And the females, the few females that have come onto my channel and asked for help, that have kind of coached in their own relationships, the very few, I've seen this in them as well, and I've done my best to help them avoid this, so that they don't end up becoming a former hottie in their 40s, 50s, and 60s living alone with cats, right? Where they don't have this shiny object syndrome. It's like they're constantly looking for, what do we call it on this channel, guys? The BBD, the bigger, better deal. So throughout their 20s, these girls, even though they have an army of high value guys, rich guys, wealthy guys, business owners, doctors, lawyers, you name it, professional athletes, celebrities who want to marry them, right? Want to put a ring on that finger and give them everything they could possibly ever ask for in life. These girls still have that shiny object syndrome where they think the grass is greener on the other side. I can do better. I met this other guy. He seems cooler. He seems nicer. He seems like he has a better job. He seems like he has a better house. He has a nicer car. They think the grass is greener, and then guess what? They jump to the other side. They kick their boyfriend in the balls, a guy they might have been with for years, maybe 5, 10 years even. Kick that dude in the balls to go after the shiny object, the new shiny object, right? We call it the shiny object syndrome, or the BBD, the bigger, better deal, right? Where the girl just constantly thinks the grass is greener on the other side. She just can't stay in a healthy relationship with a pretty good guy who treats her really good, offers to, you know, give her the world. It's still not enough for her. Like when the next shiny object comes along, she's gotta have it. She's gotta have it. And so these girls venture out through their late teens and throughout their 20s, basically riding the carousel, right? I mean, that's just common red pill knowledge. These girls ride the carousel throughout their late teens, throughout their 20s, and then things start to slow down in her 30s, right? Basically, the attention starts to dwindle a bit in her 30s, and then especially in her 40s, and definitely in her 50s, she notices she's only getting a fraction of the attention that she used to get. By the time the girl's in her 30s, especially her mid-30s, that's when she begins to notice like she does not have the power she once did. The guys that she once had at her fingertips, she tries to go back and get the same level of guys. Now she begins to realize that she can't she can't get those guys anymore. At least she can't keep them around. Maybe those guys might come around and bang her every once in a while, right? Just use her for sex. But those guys are no longer willing to offer her the world. They're no longer willing to buy her cars or move her into their house or put a ring on her finger anymore. No, that offer is now off the table. Why? Because that dude, okay, because it's usually a high value guy, that dude wants a girl who's 10, 15 years younger than her. So the time for her to get that would have been 10, 15 years earlier when she had that type of social marketplace value. We call it SMV value, right? When she had that type of social value, that would have been the time for her to close the deal. Unfortunately, a lot of these girls have that shiny object syndrome where they constantly think the grass is greener on the other side. I've seen so many of these girls, even the few girls I'm coaching now, right, that are with a pretty decent guy, has a pretty good job, has a pretty bright future. The guy might be in law school, med school, financially responsible. He's a pretty good looking guy. He has a lot going for him. Seems pretty faithful, like he's not gonna cheat on her, he's gonna treat her right. I'm like, girl, stay with him. Stay with him. He's gonna become successful, right? He's gonna do great in life. You're gonna have a great life together. Yet the girl's like, nope, think I gotta swing for the fences. Nope, I'm getting attention from this guy, that guy, and that guy. The grass might be greener on the other side. I gotta check it out, right? And then the girl, she messes up a good thing, right? She messes up a good thing. That same girl continues to do that, right? Throughout her 20s, her 30s, her 40s, and then next thing you know, she wakes up, she's 50 years old, she's living alone with cats, right? She might be able to get a few guys every once in a while. They just bang her and leave. They don't want anything from her beyond sex. You know, sadly, a lot of these former hotties, especially these ones in their 30s, 40s, and 50s like we're talking about tonight, they love to like use these young guys that they're banging as a badge of honor. Like, oh look, I'm still hot. I can still get these young guys. And it's like, they're just using you, babe. They're just using you for sex. None of those dudes are gonna stick around. None of those dudes want to put a ring on your finger. None of those dudes want to marry you off. And any of them that do, I guarantee are low value. They're low value. They're not those high value guys you were able to get a quarter of a century ago, right? They're not those high value guys. They're low value guys. Because only a low value guy who doesn't have a path and purpose would want to put a ring on the finger of somebody who could be his mom. But a lot of these former hotties who are, you know, banging these younger college age kids, they think it's like a badge of honor. Like, oh, I'm still hot. And it's like, no, realistically, this guy's just using you for sex. You know, that's the truth. This guy is never gonna throw down and, you know, buy you the ring, commit to you, stop banging hotties his own age. No, no, no. He's never gonna do that. And if he does, he's low value. And I can guarantee that guy's gonna be low value. He's either gonna have a shitty job, no path and purpose, no grind, and he's just gonna depend on you to pay for everything. So if that's what you want, go for it. But don't, you know, don't whip out your pom-poms and start cheering like you won something, like you hit the jackpot or something. I mean, no. I mean, that guy is just using you, either for sex or money or both. That's how these former hotties end up basically alone and single and living alone with cats. It's that shiny object syndrome, that constant need for the bigger, better deal, that constant itch of curiosity to see if the grass is really greener on the other side with this other guy that I just met, even though I've been with you for 5, 10 years. Let me see about this guy I just met at the club last week. Maybe he's better than you. Pathetic, pathetic. What have I told you guys about female loyalty? There is none, right? And I'm not saying all, okay? Don't get me wrong. So I get some women time to time like, hey, you jackass, I'm loyal. I'm like, okay, maybe you are. I'm not saying you, right? I'm not saying all. I'm just saying a lot. A lot of these former hotties, that's how they end up being former hotties, still single, can't lock a man down, have nobody to come home to, and then they're just living alone with cats in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment, you know. That's how that happens, guys. It's the shiny object syndrome, the constant thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, the kicking all these good men that they could have had, these high value men in their 20s, in the balls, and then later on in life, like kicking themselves, regretting the fact that, you know, they let go of this guy. You know, and sadly, a lot of these girls, since most girls lack agency, they won't even admit to themselves like how bad they're hurting inside that they let this high value guy go. This guy that is now just like crushing it in life. It's like, oh, I had this guy once, right? Just like some of my exes. Some of my exes be like kicking themselves. Oh shit, this guy freaking made it in life. This guy became successful. I wrote him off. I wrote him off. I thought the grass was greener. Right? Don't make that mistake. If you're a chick watching my coaching videos, man, you got a good guy right now and you're in your 20s. He has a good job. He has a future. He has a grind. He takes care of you. Don't be dumbass. Don't be a fool. Don't have that shiny object syndrome, thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You've been with your boyfriend 3-5 years. He's invested in you. He takes good care of you. You're like best friends. You laugh at the same things. You share the same sense of humor. You know, you might share the same religious beliefs. You love hanging out with each other. And then one night you went out with your stupid auntie or a stupid girlfriend to a club. She had to have a birthday in a club. So you went with your friend to the club. You met this guy, Javier. You don't even know Javier, but you've been with your boyfriend 5 years and Javier is promising you all this bullshit and you buy into it and you believe it and you're willing to leave your boyfriend of 5 years for Javier, who you just met on the fly because you think the grass is greener on the other side because you have shiny object syndrome. Guess what? You're a dumbass, and if you end up alone with cats, you'll know why. And with that said, I'm gonna wrap up here. So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here from the Las Vegas Strip and Las Vegas Boulevard. Don't forget to destroy that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton, okay, especially with the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton, so please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Please like, comment, and share my coaching videos as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the absolute most gorgeous, most high caliber, and best looking women on the planet, okay? Just like myself and my students are doing every single week, and I kid you not, every single week, rain or shine, virus or no virus, police brutality or no police brutality, we are making this happen all over the world. I now have students all over the world in my coaching program, literally opening and closing girls all over the world, and I want you to be one of them. I want you to join us, and all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.